As promised, I am doing another kind of Crucible boot camp tutorial kind of thing. And instead of talking about gameplay today, we're going to be talking about optimization for your character. And I find this really important, especially when I'm playing with people who aren't as experienced in the Crucible, that they always tend to overlook these things, and I think it's really important. Don't get me wrong. Gunplay and knowing what to do in scenarios is like your meat and potatoes of PvP. But then you gotta have your healthy vegetables on the side that help help make that better. And I really want to hit on this just because of what I've been seeing with people that I've been with lately, and just to kind of help people out. Alright, so let's take a look at my character as he is right now. I set him up this way just to kind of prove a point here. I'm not really going to talk about subclass talents because you can generally go to Reddit and just read about that, essentially. I'm going to change that. Alright, so here we go. We're going to start looking at basically not weapon perks, but more armor perks and how they help us. And what we're going to start off at is we're going to start off with our helmet. Now, there are helmets that are out there that are specifically tuned for PvP, but that have perks that are specifically tuned for PvP, and mine just so happens to be one. There's others, such as the Warlock's Light Beyond Nemesis helmet, fast res and all that stuff, but mine specifically has the perk Angel of Mercy. Now, what I've been seeing a lot here lately is people will have this helmet, but they won't be running the Angel of Mercy perk, which gives you more super energy for reviving people, in like trials and skirmish and stuff like that. And as y'all know, I'm a big skirmish trials player, and they'll just kind of ignore that perk and not have it on there. It makes no sense why they have that on there, because when you get revives, you get a little bit of super energy, which helps you out in the long run. And also, there's these perks, gain bonus super energy. That's cool and all. Can come in handy maybe if you got a max melee cooldown and melee income, but I really don't see that being effective. Now we're going to move on to the gloves. The gloves are definitely a big part. And as you can see, I have a hand cannon equipped, but I have pulse rifle reload. I see this a lot. Someone will have a scout rifle, and they'll have auto rifle reload on their gloves, or they'll have a hand cannon with pulse rifle reload, a lot like I do now, and it doesn't make any sense to me. Like, the amount of time you save, it's literally like milliseconds, not milliseconds, but tenths of a second, stuff like that, that can help you in the Crucible. Ridiculous. And people just tend to overlook this, and they don't seem to be optimizing correctly in that manner. I'm going to load in here so that way we can see this. I should have already had this done, but kind of winging this real quick. Fine. But I can't stress to you enough how important it is to have the right type of reload gloves on. For your primary especially since the Crucible's gone, or trying to get back to more primary play. Not exactly there yet, but it is better than what it was whenever it started off with all the ammo. But alright, so
a rusting monument to the collapse.
I'm gonna equip
reclaim this place.
my pulse rifle.
Right?
I'm gonna equip auto rifle reload gloves, and we're gonna see the difference here. I'm gonna fire a song. I'm gonna do it again just so that way you get the timing for it. And one more time. Now, we're gonna equip pulse rifle reload. and you're gonna see the difference. It's quite a bit quicker, and trust me, just having that optimized the correct way will save lives. Of course, I'm gonna have assholes back shooting at me. I'm fucking sorry. That will save your life, and it'll make you do, or it'll help you out so much in the Crucible if you just have that one little optimization just correct. And honestly, I would ignore your stat perks over having that kind of optimization. It makes a lot more sense. Another thing we're going to look at, for instance, on this Crest of Alpha Loopy I got here, I don't have any kind of sniper ammo on there, and I am primary sniper, shotgun ammo. And I'm running auto rifle ammo with a pulse rifle, like it makes no sense whatsoever. The amount of ammo I can get from these different sniper rifle perks, and I have no sniper rifle equipped as well right now. I have fusion rifle. Another thing I see, try to get the perks that give you the ammo that you need for your secondary. It'll make a huge difference. Like, I think I go from being able to carry 12 rounds, I believe, to being able to carry 16 with the sniper rifle perks from on chest and boots. It makes a big difference, and just like with heavy rounds with Truth, go from being able to carry 2 rounds of rocket ammo to 3 rounds, and that third rocket will make or break a heavy round in trials. Just make sure you know you're optimizing for the type of weapons you're carrying. And then another perk that doesn't need to be overlooked, like on your chest armor. You know, look at this. A lot of people I see, they'll be running like Void Burn Defense whenever they are a Void subclass instead of getting the extra armor. I mean, granted, you could go that, or they'll be running the Void armor and they'll be like a gunslinger. Like, why are you running that? You're not getting the benefits of it when you could be at least getting the defense from Void Burn. It's another big mistake I see. And then boots, there's really not much here on boots. Mainly just make sure your ammo matches up and your stats match. Class items doesn't matter. Artifacts, nothing really of note there. It's all PvE stuff. So the main ones are your helmet, your gloves, your chest, and your boots. Let's make sure your perks match up what you're doing. Now, here's another one, just to really quickly go over stats. Stats, look, there's this big tier 12 craze going on. And if you don't know what tier 12 is, that's basically you get 5 in one stat, 5 in another stat, and 2 in another. So 5 plus 5 plus 2 is 12. Look, it's not something that's going to make or break. It's not something that you necessarily must have. It's just something for the min-maxers out there to do. And pretty much having a 551 or 552 build is not essential. But what I see a lot is people have, like, 335 points in the discipline, for instance, and 280 in the strength, where they could just, get that extra cooldown if they were just to change it up a little bit. So it'll take some playing around sometime. There we go. So like right there, I went from being tier 4 cooldown on my string or on my melee, and I do melee because I'm a Night Stalker who runs Wombo Combo. That being tier 5 and getting an extra, the cooldown is 29 seconds. That took alright, that's an extra 11 seconds that I don't have to wait for my cooldown, which can make or break sometimes, especially wombo combos. Now, another thing I notice, and this is going to be a little bit harder to explain, but if you notice the green portion of the strength coming off, alright, I'll notice sometimes that maybe they don't have enough to reach tier 5 of a certain stat, in their armor. But they'll have that green portion filled almost to the tip, and no other way to fill it up all the way to the next tier. but they'll be lacking just a little bit on another stat that they could easily max out if they were just to take away from that portion, because it works off a tier system. Like, it doesn't matter how much you get into the next tier, because it doesn't go percentage based. It goes off whether you reach the cap of that tier or not, on how, if you get the cooldown. So that green stuff right there at the end is just wasted stats. That's all it is. It's not doing anything for me. So if I could take those and say put it into discipline and reach a new tier, I would benefit more out of that than I would just having those wasted stats right there. That's just another thing I wanted people to look at, because a lot of times I'll see people with, like, you know, max discipline, or, you know, 335 discipline, max discipline and like tier 4 strength, almost max, but they can't quite make it with their current gear. But then they'll be sitting like halfway through tier 1 intellect, and some of their gears intellect strength, and they could just take that wasted stats, what I call it, at the end of the strength, and put it into their intellect, and they would have tier 1 intellect, giving them another cooldown. It may not be the biggest, but I think it's better use of your stats than having just wasted stats sitting there. Well, obviously that's not the case here. I'm able to reach my tier 5 discipline and tier 5 strength fairly easy. Play around. But you get the point. There we go. So I'm able to reach that. I got a little bit of waste into the intellect, but really I'm already maxed here and here, so I'm good. But as long as you're able to get, tier 10 or 5-5 and do your stats, it's not a huge deal. Getting that extra cooldown off of discipline or off my intellect, isn't gonna make or break my game. It'll help me out a little bit. Yeah, there's benefits to it, but it's not gonna make or break. It's not gonna make me go on bigger kill streak or play the game better, or maybe edge off that kill. But what will is definitely help are your optimizations of your perks on your armor. Again, just make sure they match up. Make sure they look right. Make sure before you go in that you're running the right perks that you need to be running on your armor. Take a look at yourself before you start playing in the Crucible. I know I flip back and forth a lot of times between PvE, PvP, and I'll go back and look at myself and go, oh god, I wasn't running Angel and Mercy. I was running something else to help me build super energy for, COE or Challenge of Elders. And I'll look and go, oh god, I wasn't running an ammo perk for my rockets whenever it came time for, heavy round and trials and stuff. Or I have a sword equipped. Scrubbed Easy over there commenting in the back. But essentially, just this is just about optimization. I'm sorry it's a short one today, and I'll get back more into gameplay and stuff like that. My next video I'm going to be trying to make is going to be more about how to improve gun skill, or techniques that I use to try and better myself gun skill. And hopefully I'll be able to put that out tomorrow, if not sometime in the near future. But if you guys have any questions or anything like that, feel free to hit me up on Discord. I am available most of the time. And I may not be the most active person chatting in there, but I am lurking in there most of the time. But yeah, just remember guys, optimization is important. It's not, going to make or break your game, or it's not going to, correction, it will make or break your game. It's not going to, allow you to go on these huge kill streaks or make this invincible dude. But it will allow you to be a little bit better prepared for Crucible combat and stuff like that. And it will give you a little bit of an edge if you're completely optimized correctly. Alright guys, that's it for now. And hopefully I will catch y'all later. Tonight I will try and stream some PvE content and maybe some sweats later tonight. Alright guys, y'all have a good day.